Hi, I'm Gail Rubin. I am the doyen of death. I'm a certified thanatologist. That's a death educator.
Okay.
And this is Senator Cisco McSorley. Thank you for seeing me this morning.
Thank you for coming.
I am thrilled that we have such an open system here in New Mexico to interact with our representatives in Santa Fe.
I'm really happy to do it.
So I'm here today on behalf of the House Bill 171, the End of Life Options Act. Are you familiar with that?
I'm very familiar with it. In fact, I was the main sponsor about 20 years ago on all of our other bills that was dignity in dying, allowing folks to help assist those in hospitals making the decision whether or not they want to provide certain remedies that or not. And we've had one of the best bills in New Mexico leading up to the point of death. But for a long time, I was undecided about what I would do about this concept. I wanted to let other states let their systems work and see how they worked and see if they worked and see if they were abused or if they weren't abused and how people took to it.
And we are here to encourage that and help spread the word about what New Mexico is looking at doing. And one of the things that I do as a death educator, I am a pioneer of the Death Cafe movement in the United States. The first Death Cafe west of the Mississippi was held in Albuquerque, New Mexico in September of 2012. And the Death Cafe is an opportunity for people to come together and talk about what's on their hearts or their minds about mortality issues. One of the things that I see at a lot of these cafes is people concerned about control at end of life. Baby boomers, big into control issues. And the peace of mind that this End of Life Options Act would provide, giving people, we just heard a story about a man's father who had terminal cancer, who dragged himself out of bed to throw himself in the street so he could get run over by a car to end his suffering. This kind of story doesn't have to happen. And giving patients who are terminally ill the option of taking a medication that would give them a peaceful death, we really need to get the word out about and help pass it.
Well, what I like about the bill is, to me, and what I like about what's been going on in the rest of the nation is there's plenty of checks and balances that those that want to explore their options have been doing it in other states. The interesting thing is, when it comes time, many of them don't even take the option because they don't feel they need it in the end. They're not in pain, they're not in suffering, and they just decide that they're willing to die without the assistance. But for those that are in great pain, as you say, and suffering, those that are losing their capacity, those are the folks that I'm more than happy to let them choose not just how they want to live, but how they want to die.
Mm-hmm. But of course, there are all of these safeguards in place. They have to be mentally competent,
Right.
adult,
Right.
have a terminal illness, be able to take the medication themselves. They're requesting with their doctor without interference of their family.
Right. When I said losing capacity, I meant physical capacity, not
Yeah.
mental capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my understanding is they still have to be able to either drink the glass or sip a straw of the liquid medication, be able to take it themselves.
And I think that's important.
Yes.
What hasn't happened is all the parade of horribles that all the opponents said would happen, that the poor were being targeted so we could save money on insurance and programs. None of that is happening. Mm-hmm. What I'm seeing and the results that I'm seeing and what I'm hearing in committee and reading is that these are mostly middle-class people or upper-middle-class, well-educated, who just decide that they want to have control of this last frontier of their life.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Is there anything else you'd want people to know about your take on the bill or its chances in New Mexico this legislative session?
No, I really don't know what the final results will be. I can't foretell that. All I can say is we have been hearing about these kinds of issues now for 10, 15, 20 years. I'm a close friend of Professor Rob Schwartz at the law school, who has been exploring these issues, who has been involved in the ethics of these issues, and he has kept me informed on all the latest developments throughout the nation. So I think that when we talk about this, we talk about it in an intelligent and open manner, and that we respond to our constituents. This is another one of those issues that the constituents are asking us for, that people are way ahead of the politicians on some of these most highly charged matters. And people have made up their mind, and they don't need the state to determine when they can live and die.
Well, thank you so much, Senator. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Glad to be here.